Hey, second graders, we're back with day 2 of video lessons. And here we go. Let's start on some math. Are you ready? Get ready, get in a quiet place, get somewhere where you can focus, get out your math packet because it has some nice blank pieces of paper that you might want to work through some of the stuff that we do together. Ready? Ready? Ready for the meme of the day? All right. Where is it? Maybe. There we go. That moment when you understand something in math class. I'm the smartest man alive. I hope you feel like him today. If you don't feel like him today, message me or your teacher so that you feel like you understand something in math class. See, you just want to have that face of just pure pride in himself. He's very proud of what he knows. All right, keep it moving. Here is your exit ticket from the day before, the one that I didn't do with you, the one that you did on your own. Hopefully you've done this on your own, and this is just a way you can check and see that you did it right. You put your title right here. You put your categories as well as your legend down here. I want to really want to make sure that you made a picture graph, because look, yesterday we worked on picture graphs. Say it with me, picture graphs. And see how I drew circles like this? I drew circles. I didn't color it in yet because we're not doing that. Sneak peek, that's today's lesson. But this lesson, lesson 2, is all about picture graphs. So say picture graphs, say bar graphs. Bar graphs. Bar graphs are what we're going to do today, okay? So think about picture graphs. That's what we're doing right here, right now. I went ahead and I answered it for you as well, and we can just talk through it super quickly, just in case you didn't get that answer, but I'm guessing, since y'all are all smart, that a lot of you did. But it asks, how many more animals are mammals than birds? Well, I can look over here, mammals. I can look over here, birds. And guess what? I could think about, 12 minus 8, or I'll give you a hint, something that I do. I look at mammals here. See how tall it is? I look at how short birds are, and I count the boxes that are missing a circle, but that are there on the mammals. Does that make sense? Where there are circles missing, but the circles are over here, because I know that's the difference. That's how many more, okay? So look, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to do 12 minus 8, that's okay. Does that still get you 4? Yeah. Over here, how many more animals are mammals and reptiles than birds and fish? See how I marked, mammals and reptiles? I counted that up. I found the sum, and the sum of 12 and 5 is 17. I did that first. And then I did birds and fish. So the sum of 8 and 4 is 12. So now that I had my 2 groups, my 2 sums, I could think, all right, 17 minus 12 is 5. And it's a little bit trickier on that one to count by the boxes, because you have to figure out what is this all together, and then what is this all together. And so it makes it kind of hard to do it by counting on the picture graph. So that's why I did my little stop and jots and kind of worked on it over here by the problem. Over here, how many fewer animals are fish than birds? You can do the strategy of looking at fish and birds over here. 8 minus 4 is 4. Or you can do my strategy. I saw that fish was right here. I saw that birds were right here. And I counted how many circles are missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 circles missing right here, which means there are 4 fewer fish than birds. All right, let's move on. Coin fluency time. All right, you guys got to get ready. And remember, we're not thinking it's silly if you're talking out loud. You know what? I'm going to take away my face. There we go. Oh, wait, I can't take away my face. You got to see my coins. Oh, man, I'm a mess. So we're gonna get started on coin fluency. I'm gonna hold up, see this glass bowl that I have, and I have all of my coins right here too. So look closely, this is what? Say it. A quarter. How much is it worth? Say it. 25 cents. I hope you're saying this out loud, right? That's how we're gonna grow our brain. That's how we're gonna get smarter, ready for third grade, okay? So this is a quarter. It is 25 cents. What about this? This is a penny. It is worth 1 cent, okay? So as I'm adding them into my little bowl, okay, I need you to count up with me. I'm gonna count out loud. You're gonna count out loud with me to start off, and then I'm gonna have you count in your head, and you're gonna check and see if you got the same amount as I did, okay? Ready? 1 quarter. So just tell me what it's worth. Don't tell me the coin, tell me what it's worth, and we're gonna count on. Ready, and go. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Nice job. How much money do I have in here? Hopefully you're saying 30 cents. Make sure to say 30 cents, not just 30, because this is money. We want to make sure that we're saying 30 cents, okay? Ready? I am now going to take away some coins, okay? So I have 30 cents, and I'm going to take away a penny. That makes my bowl how much? 30 minus 1 is 29 cents, 28 cents, 27 cents, 26 cents, 25 cents, and that's just my quarter, right? Just my quarter. All right, ready? Now I want you to count in your head. I'm not going to count out loud with you. You're going to count in your head, and we're going to see if we have the same amount at the end. Ready? You have 55 cents? Hope you do. 55 cents. 2 quarters and 5 pennies makes 55 cents. All right, now I'm going to take away my face. See y'all at the end. All right, application problem. Oh, I can't show the answer yet. After a trip to the zoo, Miss Anderson's students voted on their favorite animals. Use the bar graph to answer the following questions. Ready? Read this with me. Which animal got the fewest votes? Oh man, they start us off with an easy question. Let's look. We've got a flamingo. Oh, there's our picture. We've got a snow leopard, our picture. Komodo dragon, and a koala bear, okay? We gotta see which one has the fewest votes. Oh, well, that's easy because I can see the smallest one is the flamingo. So in a sentence, I would say, the flamingo got the fewest votes. Oh, there it comes. The flamingo got the fewest votes. Okay, so these are pretty easy. Ready? Next one. Which animal got the most votes? How do we know which one has the most? Well, I know which one has the longest line, kind of like when we draw our tape diagrams. Those are whichever one is the longest line is the most. So I think what it looks like to me on this bar graph is the Komodo dragons got the most votes. And I put that into a sentence. The Komodo dragon got the most votes. All right, so those are pretty easy. You could probably even have answered those in your head before I said it. On C and D, it's going to get a little trickier. And if I start showing my work, I want you to start showing your work. Got it? Got it? Hope you said got it. How many more students liked Komodo dragons than koala bears. Okay, so now is when we get to think. How many more students like Komodo dragons than koala bears? All right, are you ready for this? I'm going to start solving it because I know that I need to look at the Komodo dragon and I know I need to look at the koala bear. How much is a Komodo dragon? I follow the bar graph, follow all the way to the end. I go down the line and I know that 11 students liked Komodo dragons the best, okay? I'm gonna go to koala bear. I'm gonna go down the bar graph and stop at the end and then go down. Oh, 4. So what am I gonna do with these two numbers, 11 and 4? Am I gonna add them together? Do I wanna know how many students liked them all together? No. How many more students? How many more students liked Komodo dragons than koala bears? So look what I'm gonna do. Add or subtract? Subtraction. Sweet. So we can think 11 minus 4, easy peasy lemon squeezy, is what, scholars? I want you to solve that on your own. If you're having trouble or if you want to do it a different way, we can count the empty boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 11 minus 4 is what? 7. Good job. All right. I'm going to clear that. And I'm going to show my answer. Wait for it. 7 more students liked Komodo dragons than koala bears. Look how I used the same exact words here that I used right here. So you should have shown your work like I did, and now you have your answer. 7 more students liked Komodo dragons than koala bears. If you need to pause this, it's A-okay. D. Later, 2 students changed their votes from koala bear to snow leopard. What was the difference between koala bears and snow leopards then? Oh goodness, these people are changing their minds. So if 2 students change their votes from koala bear to snow leopard, what does that mean happens to the koala bear? That means that 2 of these boxes that are filled in right here with the koala bear have to be taken away. And where do they need to be moved to? I hope you said snow leopard because they changed their votes from koala bear to the snow leopard. All right, so let's change that then. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually draw it really quickly because when we redraw right, sometimes that makes it easier for us to understand. So I'm going to actually take away these 2 boxes because the students changed their votes. They took away their votes from the koala bear and they put it on the snow leopard. So I'm going to draw a little box here. How many am I going to draw here? This is going to be tricky. How many? 2, because 2 students changed. So I'm adding on 2 to the snow leopard. How many did the snow leopard have before they changed the votes? Let me go down to the bottom and count. It goes across the bar and down. 9. Okay, so before they had 9, right? And now with that added 2, I can do a plus 2. Now how much do they have? Hopefully you said 11. Oh, making it tie with the Komodo dragon. Look at that. So back to our question. Silly me, I'm getting off topic. Back to our question. What was the difference between koala bears and snow leopards then? Okay, so now we got to look at the snow leopards, which now we know has how many? How many votes? 11. It has 11 votes. But now how many does the koala bear have? The koala bear only has 1, 2. So when we find the difference, we need to make sure that we draw what's the biggest number? 11 minus what's the other category that we're talking about? We have snow leopards and koalas. So how many does the koalas have now? 2, because we took away 2. So now 11 minus 2 equals 9. Look at that. That's almost a fact family right there. Do you see how they did that? That's fun. Okay, so now we know that 9 more people like snow leopards more than the koala bears. So let's see how my answer shows up. The koala bear, oh no, the koala bear would be 2 and the snow leopard would be 11. We figured that out because 11, and then we could see that there was 2 here. And we also put it into our equation here. And the difference between the 2 would be 9 if those 2 students changed their minds. Changing their minds all over the place. All right, let me clear all my drawings and talk about birthdays. Are you ready? So I looked online and I found the birthdays of all my scholars on PowerSchool. I'm sorry I didn't get you all, Miss Peace, Miss Gibbons, and Miss Matthews. I didn't have the information, but you never know when next time I might ask your teachers for some information and you can get highlighted on the PowerPoint. But for right now, I found all the birthdays in my class. And looky here, we have 3 spring birthdays. We have 6 summer birthdays. We have 3 fall birthdays, and we have 12 winter birthdays. Now, I don't know about you, but that is a lot of birthdays in one season. Okay, so what I need your help, guys, today, I need your help in taking this table that I have, this information, this data, and turning it into a bar graph. Because yesterday, we did picture graphs, and those are really fun because sometimes you can draw circles, you can draw other little pictures, and it's a lot of fun. But bar graphs are really interesting, okay? I'm gonna show you how interesting they are today. We are gonna create this bar graph and see how there's all these different squares, and I've even labeled all these different parts of the bar graph, okay? And so I've got our label over here, of course our title on the top, of course our categories over here, which we're going to talk more about, and then down here we have our scale, which is another thing that we're going to talk a lot about real quick. So let's get started. On our title, what do you think our title is going to be? I'll give you a hint. We need it to match our other table, our other title. So, right, it is going to be our birthdays. The same thing. Easy peasy. Okay? And now we're moving on to our categories. What are the things we need first when we see a bar graph? We need to do our title, categories, and scale. And that's why I mentioned them. That's why I labeled them. Okay? So we did our title first, and that has to match perfectly with our other information, our other graphs, okay? Now we're working on our categories. Our categories have to perfectly match our table. So what is this first category going to be if it's lining up the exact same with our table? Say it out loud. It should be spring. And then we have summer. And then we have, tell me, fall. And then we have winter. All of our seasons are our categories. They match exactly to our table over here and our bar graph over here. Okay, so we labeled our title, we did our categories. Now we're going to move on to our number scale. What's really neat about this number scale is, to me, it looks like a number line or a ruler. Watch. It goes from 0 all the way to 12, one at a time. And our scale here on this bar graph, if you think that this looks like a number line to you, give me a thumbs up. If you think this looks like a ruler to you, give me a thumbs up. Awesome. I think it looks like both of those things. And this is what helps us move our data from here to here. All right, let's get going. We're going to start at the top, starting with spring. If I'm thinking about our bar graph and we're putting in the data, we're putting in the information from this table onto our bar graph, I'm going to draw little squares or I'm gonna fill in the squares, and I'm gonna do exactly the amount of squares here as I have our number here. So I'm done with spring. I've got 3 birthdays in the spring, 3. Now ready, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 birthdays in the summer, and I'm gonna stop there because it matches perfectly. 6 summer, 6 summer, and here we've got fall. 1, 2, 3. I'm done, right? All right, tell me when to stop on winter. Tell me when to stop. Say stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, yeah, I gotta stop there. That's the end of my graph. So in winter, we have 12 birthdays. All right, take one more look at it. Let's look at how I match 3 and 3, 6, 6, 3, 3, 12, 12. Moving on. Some questions. I want you to either answer these out loud, or you can answer these to somebody sitting next to you. If your parent is next to you, if your grandpa or your grandma or your aunt or your brother or your sister is next to you, I want you to answer these questions to them, okay? So first question, do we know who has a birthday in the fall by reading this graph? Do we know who? I hope you said no, because look, my little boxes don't have names on them, do they? This one doesn't say a name. This one doesn't say a name. None of them say names. So do we know who has a birthday? No. I don't know who has a birthday. But what do we know about fall birthdays? Well, we know that what? We know that there are 1, 2, 3 birthdays. We know that there are 3 birthdays, but we don't know who, right? Next question. How many fewer students have birthdays in the summer than in the winter? How many fewer, right, smaller, how many fewer students have birthdays in the summer than in the winter? And remember, we can set this up by drawing if we want. We could write actual numbers because we know how many are in the winter? 12. We know how many are in the summer? 6. So we know that 12 minus 6 is 6. It's a doubles fact. Ooh, wonky 6. Let me try that again. Here we go. Where did I get this 12 from? Winter. Where did I get this 6 from? Summer. Okay, make sure you know that this, if it's asking how many fewer students have birthday in the summer than in the winter, I need to know, I need to put my bigger number first, because 6 minus 12 is not going to work, y'all. Not in second grade. Not in second grade. Okay, so 12 minus 6 equals 6. What does 6 mean? Oh, 6 fewer students have birthdays in the summer than in the winter. 6 fewer students. How many more students have a birthday in the winter than in the spring and fall? Think about this one. How many more students have a birthday in the winter than in the spring and fall? How many more students have a birthday in the winter? Oh, so how many have it in the winter? Tell me. 12. Then in the spring and fall. So how many students, how many scholars have spring and fall birthdays? Add that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6. And that's kind of like what we just did. 12 minus 6 equals 6. 6 more students have a birthday in the winter than in the spring and fall. See what I'm saying? That's a lot of birthdays, right? It seems like a lot of birthdays to me. Okay. So now to finish up our time together, quick, I want you to tell someone at your house what the difference is between a picture graph and a bar graph before we're done today. Before you go to sleep tonight, Tell someone at your house what the difference is between a picture graph and a bar graph. We did picture graphs before last lesson, and now we did bar graphs today, and they looked different. Tell somebody, all right? I believe in you. But for now, that's it. So I hope you're having a good, fun Friday, and I hope you have a good, restful weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye, y'all.